now joined by Mayor David Miller of Toronto. Welcome.
Thanks very much.
Now, Toronto has really set the standard as far as a green city goes. Briefly tell me some of the initiatives that you're undertaking.
Well, Toronto's philosophy is that you can act locally to make significant global change. So we've undertaken a whole range of initiatives, sometimes ourselves, sometimes in partnership with other cities. And if you look at climate change, the sectors that really need to be addressed are those that are within cities and in control of cities. Transportation, for example. We're building about 120 kilometers of new light rail transit. It's a program called Transit City to bring rapid transit to every part of the city so that everybody can choose transit and significantly lower the greenhouse gas emissions from our transportation sector. We're also working on our buildings sector, huge greenhouse gas emissions. So our new buildings in Toronto have to meet a green building standard that we've developed that is like LEED, but has some other things, like it has to be transit-oriented development and so forth. Very significant impact on new buildings, but you also have to address your older buildings. So we have a program called Mayor's Tower Renewal that is looking at recladding all of the concrete slab apartment buildings that were built in the 60s and 70s. We have in the Toronto region 2,000 of them. Terrible wasters of energy, but built very strongly. The buildings will be there for 100 years. So our philosophy is to reclad them, reduce the energy, create local jobs and employment, very, very significant. And then a whole range of programs in partnership, in particular with small businesses and Torontonians, whether it's solar water, whether it's something called Green TO Biz, which is engaging small businesses. That's because we believe that you can't win this fight, and you certainly can't win the economic fight, which is to create jobs and green collar jobs without it having partnerships. And we have those partnerships with residents of Torontonians through grants programs, with small businesses through jointly shared programs. We think that's an extremely effective way to fight climate change.
That's wonderful. Now, we're here at the Governor's Climate Summit. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to learning. You know, all of these sessions you learn. And there's some very interesting sessions about carbon finance. It's a session about transportation that my colleague, City Councillor Adam Giambroni, who runs the Toronto Transit Commission, is a speaker at. And transportation is a critical issue for cities. But I think even more importantly, this conference is timed in the run-up to Copenhagen. And we're working with the Mayor of Copenhagen through the C40 cities to have a very strong presence of cities. And I think this conference is timed perfectly, and I do want to congratulate Governor Schwarzenegger and the other governors who are hosting it to make it very clear that there are real actions that cities and other subnational governments can take. There are actions that are being done that, if we learn from each other, can be done on a world scale, which is what the C40 is all about, and that we actually know how to reduce our emissions, to fight climate change, to do it aggressively, and to create jobs at the same time. And you know, to me, sustainability is about sustainability from an economic perspective as well as an environmental perspective, and you can do both. So I'm here to make that statement when I speak in the opening plenary, but I'm also here as a mayor to learn from my colleagues and from the governors and from everyone else. And I think it's terrific that we've got the UN here, the Agacon Foundation, you know, North and South. Not just developed countries or developed cities or developed states and provinces, developing. And that link is really important, because I know from my work that our colleagues in the developing world are seeing the threat of climate change, particularly cities that are on oceans. You know, look at the tragedies that happened in the Philippines just this week. And we need to support them. And that's why we really need to act. And this conference is all about action. It's about demonstrating to each other what we've done, about spreading that knowledge, and about saying to the nations of the world when they're in Copenhagen that they need to reach agreement that has clear goals, that is serious, that truly addresses climate change, and from a city's perspective, engages us and also empowers and resources us to do the work at a much larger scale that we're already doing.
Mayor David Miller, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the summit.
Thanks.